Welcome to Winning Wall Street's Money. Help support my channel. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers pretty much as soon as possible. So then I go live streaming because YouTube policy, they won't let me go live until I have 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to all the folks out there that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you have not yet, please take this moment now with helping me. Click subscribe. Next, click the bell. And next, click all. This helps you receive a notification when I post my next videos. Plus, click the thumbs up button and every time you watch my videos. If you got value from this video, if this was helpful, then please consider sharing a small monetary donation to my channel by going below and clicking on either my Patreon or PayPal links. If you join my Patreon page, then you'll get early access to these videos 24 hours before they're posted on the YouTube and lots more. If you prefer just leaving a small tip, click on PayPal. Either way, then you get that warm sense of satisfaction years down the line knowing that you helped me become a successful YouTuber. Thursday, October 13th, 6:57 p.m. New York time. Good evening. Commodities, the commodity markets. In the United States, the commodities is traded on the futures exchange. The futures exchange is very broad of the financial instruments they offer, and part of that is the commodities. In the United States, commodities are priced in dollars. Worldwide, commodities are priced in dollars when you're doing trades between nations. Price of the action of the dollar has an effect on the underlying commodity, as well as supply and demand. Remember those three things. Looking at the US dollar, the dollar is the low from here for the year and high up here. Again, it's bullish, the US dollar. These are weekly candles. The current one's not done yet, but it's up here testing, or did test, this supply zone. That was a swing high supply zone and rejected it. Yeah. So maybe we'll do a retracement and then continue going higher. But if it continues on a trend downward, that maybe have the inverse effect on commodities, making commodities higher. Okay. So you have this big impulse candle here up. Then you have this retest here, huge wick, bunch of buyers stepped in. So I'm thinking this is more of a consolidation up here, since this retest went down there and filled to go lower, that we might see the dollar push higher. Again, we'll see some price action up and down, but again, I still think we're doing these continuous staircase pattern higher highs. That being said, let's go look at commodities now. And one of the categories in commodities is energy. We'll look at the two most often ones traded: crude oil and natural gas. Crude oil, which gets converted into gasoline. So here in the crude oil, again, we're looking at a 1-year chart. Each candle's a week, and the current candle is not done yet because it's not the end of the week. Again, here's the low for the year. That's the high for the year. Understand the crude oil, that's the high for the year. There's people out there blatantly lying or not checking and verifying and saying we're at the high all time right now. That's not true. I don't know where they get their information from, but maybe they're intentionally BSing. Okay, so crude oil has done a retracement. Last week, we had this huge impulse move up. Zoom in. And then I labeled the midpoint. We already had a retest of that. And we were red back inside of that retest, rejected. So come the end of the week, maybe this is, again, going to be a bull flag pattern and continue going higher. There's other resistance overhead. But again, big difference than what the dollar is, right? The dollar was almost all trend up, and here it's almost like a W. The left side of the W, the head and shoulder, and back. Yeah, there's a pattern thing occurring here. Again, this was a consolidation, breakdown consolidation. So a lot of it has to do with the value of the dollar, as well as supply and demand. There is no shortage of crude oil worldwide, but there is a control of inventory of a few nations, kingdoms, monarchs, fascists that own them, that control the nations so they can control the prices. Yeah, it's not free markets unless you're growing it in your backyard. Oh, the other thing is another lie The United States uses more crude oil than we produce. Got it? There's not enough in the United States to meet our demands. And the number one source of using crude oil in the United States is the industrial. Yeah, we have a big industrial base and it uses more crude oil than your automobiles. Facts. Check and verify. It's been public record for ever since I've been alive. But there are people that continue there spreading misinformation. And also the natural gas is a huge supply in the United States, but the leadership past and present does not want that to be the main source of energy, which would be better because it's cleaner and more easier for the stability and integrity of vehicles. Yeah. Again, politicians, both of them. Natural gas, big difference. This was massive trend for the majority of the year. Deep pullback, went back up, and look at that. We took out that swing high and then pulled back. So now we're inside candle. We didn't take out the high or low of last week. Interesting. It's in a demand zone where buyers are. So maybe this is the breaking point. Yeah, that's maybe it's going to go low, higher low, to go up. Again, there's a demand for it. But if the dollar goes higher, this may go lower. If the dollar goes lower, this may go higher. Trade ideas. Be aware there's a correlation, again, between, what did I say? The dollar. So now let's look here. Correlation between crude oil and natural gas. You see natural gas last week had this huge trading range, and this week made a higher high than prior. Well, here it's different. Yep, different. We have other things too, heating oil and other things, but I'm just going to show these two main ones. Let's go on to the next category. And metals. The metals. The number one metal is copper. It's for industrial use. Gold is for a wealth. I'll go on those some other time. But right now we're looking at gold futures. Again, same thing. 1 year weekly chart. Each candle's a week. That was the beginning of the year. That was the high of the year. Gold is near the low of the year. Big difference than what US dollar is. Dollar's near the high of the year. Gold's near the low of the year. So currently, we made a lower high, lower low than last week. We tested this supply demand zone where buyers were, and buyers stepped in. That's good. It's a big consolidation in here too. Above 1650, because see these big wicks, they're keeping price action above. So 1650 has been a demand zone, and obviously up here 1750, 1700. This whole area has been a supply zone of sellers. Let's see what happens if we're going to get a breakout. Looking at silver, huge consolidation in here, similar to gold. See, similar. So apparently there's less demand for these metals. Again, silver, the hair, beginning of the year, the high, near the low. Why would it be less demand? What is the use of silver? There is industrial use for it. Not as large as copper, obviously, more than gold. Now let's look at platinum. Beginning of the year, high of the year, low of the year, retested, broke below it, retested it, failed to go lower, reversed. So now we're in consolidation phase. And look at that for the week, inside candle. We had a demand zone there and a large supply up there. So one would think, even if we're going to test these, we might have more of a rejection, go lower. Unless the dollar goes down, one would expect this to break above here. Use caution. We could still go down lower again, retest this. And copper. Beginning of the year, had a higher consolidation, huge sell-off, retracement, huge sell-off, low of the year, demands on buyers, tested it, stayed above it. So now we're in this huge consolidation phase. And this is what's looking bad. We went up here, trending. We went in a consolidation phase, broke below the consolidation phase. Look at this. I'm considering that a stop hunt because that big red candle, we tested it, rejected it, then big red candle here. So making lower highs. I'll draw a line. Trend line. Start from the top, swing it out. Make sure it's touching pretty close. There we go. Lower highs. So one would expect somewhere here it might have break and go lower. And I'll do that. We'll label this over here. down. Let's go on to the next big commodity. Agricultural. Your agricultural, from your livestock to your grain products. So we're looking first here at corn futures. Look at that. We broke above this consolidation. Nice. Huge impulse move down, doing retracement till we get above here. Corn, several uses. Corn for consumption by us humans, corn as feed for animals, and corn for ethanol. Not all corn farmers grow it for ethanol. Remember, corn for ethanol is not the best ethanol form. Apparently, I recall sugarcane is better than corn for ethanol. That's, business and politics doesn't necessarily let you get the best product. Wheat futures. Supply zone, rejecting it. But it's nice because it is consolidation up here. So want to be cautious here. See if we go into have a rejection. It's not done yet for the week, but I'm going to label this here. This might be just distribution. Because you have these huge impulse moves down, consolidation, break up, and still that solid yellow candle is equivalent to a red candle. So it looks like distribution still occurring down here. Let's go on to the next. Soybean futures, yeah, huge consolidation and breaking down. Not looking good. Live cattle futures, look at that, all-time new high for the year. Big difference. Wow. We have most of these commodities not, but this one, all-time new high for the year. Let's remove that swing high. Okay, we'll see if it closes above this at the end of the week. So that's interesting. If you've been following me for some time, I showed you that pattern, gave you early clues that was a bullish pattern, and it worked out fine. And if you did get in there, wow. If you stayed in there, you're doing very well. Nice. Feeder cattle. Big difference. It's trending down. It's in a supply, it's in a demand zone. Receiver rejects it and going to go higher. Maybe a trade idea. Let's watch that one. I'll also set an alert to see if it breaks above here. Actually, there's a little supply zone up here. Oops, supply zone. So time will tell. I have to check up on it, set some alerts, because this is looking interesting. Since this was an impulse to move down, you might just have a retracement. Let's label that. There you go. And the last one, lean hog. Wow, just coming off the lows of the year. Struggling, yeah. Okay, many thanks for watching. Thank you, as always, for spending just a little bit of your time with me. If you've gotten value from this video, if this was helpful, then please consider sharing a small monetary donation to my channel by going below and clicking on my PayPal or Venmo. You can leave a small tip. If you don't want to share financial support, no problem. Just click the like and subscribe and leave a comment, please.